I'm just going to hand it over to you.
Sure. Let me quickly share my screen. Let me know, is it visible to you?
Yes, we can see it.
So before starting this session, so we'll keep this session very casual. If you find any query in the middle of the session, you can simply just ask me. We can discuss. In this whole session, there will be a lot of flexibility, which will be allowed from both the sides. So don't hesitate. Even if you're an aspirant into the product segment, feel free to pitch in with your questions and queries. I'll be happy to answer. Uh, I have kept in mind everyone as a product learner so that we all can thrive together. So today's session's topic is the problem solution fit. So we have heard of problem solution fit. So first of all, we'll understand about product solution fit. Then we'll move forward with the steps, baby steps about how to achieve product solution fit. And then we'll discuss about few of the case studies in this whole session, and followed by Q&As whenever you stop me or whenever you find it comfortable to. So before starting, I'll just give a very half a minute's introduction about myself. So I'm a senior product manager at FreeCharge. I'm also a product management podcaster. I have a Spotify channel for this. Previously, I was a co-founder of a startup, Inequal Technologies, which was a IT service-based company, carrying up almost 10 years of experience into product segment, served more than 300 customers across the globe into diverse industry experience, still trying to learn new things, thriving with folks like you. Currently, I'm managing credit card product and new banking product at FreeCharge, which is an Axis Bank subsidiary. So collaborating with same. Quickly moving to the main part of the session. So let's understand the basic things about problem solution fit. So I have mentioned a lot of content there on the PPT, but we'll discuss the crux of everything so that you understand it very well. So problem solution fit, before discussing about this particular scenario, first understand almost 90% of startups fail in their operations within 1 year. Why it happens? Can anyone guess why it happens? Within first year of operation, almost 90% of startup fail. Can anyone guess? Kushal, if you can help me if there is any answer in chat. Am I audible to you?
Yes, Pranshu. So we have one suggestion from Siddharth that MVP is not defined.
Okay.
Incorrect product market fit from Raman.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, it's lack of PMF, product market fit. Execution goes bad, lack of clarity.
Okay.
Did not truly solve customer request. Quick to give solution but not to solve the issue. And not focusing on the problem to solve.
Yeah. Almost all the answers are very relevant and very close. The main reason why startup fail is that they create something that people don't urgently need. So that's the key preposition which everyone fails, because everyone has to build and deliver something. We sometimes bypass the customer's needs and expectation. And the second most typical explanation for their collapse was a lack of interest in the product from customer. So customers are also, so you have built a product, you have served to the customer. Now customer will decide whether he or she wanted this particular product or not, whether this product is actually solving their problem or not. So in there, so which leads to low revenue, no revenue, right? At the end of the day, business and startup works with revenue, right? So at the end of the day, the customer is not finding relevancy with the solution. The customer won't use your product. So here comes the basic fundamental question: why a startup failed? They have created a product, They have delivered the product, they have served that product to the customer, but still failed. Why? What is the key reason? So let's go behind the scene of this whole product development journey. So problem solution fit starts at the time when you are ideating. Boss, this is the problem. So where you identify that, boss, this is the problem with a set of customers, and this is a kind of solution which I'll build. So you have to validate at that particular time that, boss, your solution is actually fitting with the problem or not, or you are just assuming that the problem, that this particular solution will solve the problem in some other way, right? So there are multiple stages, multiple steps to understand and to validate whether this solution will solve the problem or not, and at the same time customer will accept it or not. So this whole ecosystem uh, is known as problem solution fit, where we identify what is the problem, we identify what could be the possible solution, we iterate and reiterate, and then we find a best possible solution which is accepted by all the customers, which could go ahead in the market also. And then we'll talk about other aspects of product market fit, product solutioning, MVPs 1, 2, 3, right? Because those things will thrive. Once this customers start adopting the product, those things will thrive, because the main purpose at the stage one was the problem solution fit. You solve the problem, customer is now happy, is trying to accept your product, and hence this is a very high level understanding what product solution fit. We'll move forward, we'll discuss more in depth what stages, frameworks, etc. also in this whole session. So in this whole journey of problem solution fit, role of empathy is very important. So what is empathy? Empathy means you have to understand your customer. You have to actually dive into the shoes of your customer. You don't just have to put the shoes of your customer into your foot. You have to dive. You have to understand the frustrations and aspirations and the challenges. So as an example, suppose if WhatsApp was not there, as a customer I have so many problems and challenges. I can't uh, like immediately I cannot chat with anyone. I only have Facebook as an option, right? It's not important that every customer has Facebook, right? There is no communication channel, a very proper communication channel. Very vague example. So we have to understand the customer's aspirations, the fundamental requirement of my customer, that was what I'm requiring, what I'm looking forward, right? My main problem statement is communication. You are not solving my problem. This is the gap, the frustration, aspiration, and challenges. Then at the same time, you have to identify users pain points. So first of all, you have to understand their aspirations. Ki, boss, I need this, I need that. Then you have to understand that pain point. I need this because I have list of these pain points. So you have to understand those pain points. How you will understand those pain points? So I'll give you my example. Whenever we have to understand the user's pain point, we simply go on a call with customers. We simply get on a call to a customer. We discuss. We create a list of questions for the customer. Everything is iterative. Everything is depending on the type of customer and the segment of customer. We do user interviews. Okay, sir, tell me what is the problem you are facing. Why you are facing? What is your point of view? आपके हिसाब से क्या होना चाहिए? Right? Then we also do surveys. That okay, we have two solutions. Which solution you require? Which solution you love? So that there is a data, right? So once you have user interviews, once you have surveys, then you have data. Then you can take a better call. Then you can. Data gives you a better insight in the terms of solutioning, also in the terms of prioritization also. So once I have the users pain points list, I go, I check my data, and then I take a call that, okay, boss, from those 100 pain points, those 10 pain points are the top pain points which we have to solve for first. Then another segment come, which is prioritization. Now I have users pain point. I know those 100 things I have to kill. We'll start from those 10. And those, how to take the decision that why only those 10? Because those are the most prominent, most relevant, and most discussed most number of time discussed problem. So those were the particular pain points we'll discuss. So now this is a time to define the problem. So once we have actually identified pain point, we need to define the problem clearly, because sometimes what happens is you start with a problem statement, you discuss with customer, and then you feel that no, this problem statement is too big. We have to narrow it down. We are actually trying to solve 100 things in one go, which is not possible. So you have to redefine the problem statement. So whenever you are speaking with your customers, uh, you get a lot of insights. You get a lot of insights in terms of innovation, also in terms of criticism also. Criticism is not a right word actually, in terms of a feedback, I'll say. So there you have to define, so you have to be very much fundamentally flexible. You can't say that, boss, this is my problem statement which I have picked and I will solve for this only. No, that doesn't work. You have, being a product person, you have to be 100% flexible. You have to think from customer's lens first. That, boss, you have told me you are solving a problem which have 100 parts, which will take 2 years to solve, but can you solve only one piece for me in next 1 month or 2 months? So you have to redefine the problem. Again, MVP, prioritization, everything will come at a later stage. But you have to redefine the problem statement now. Every time you go and in a discussion with your customers, you address the feedback, surveys, you address the data, you will get very different and new insight at the time at the very beginning of the stage. Because at that particular time, you are sitting with a problem statement with a very what do you say with a high possibility of flexible intent. So defining a problem statement at this particular stage is very important. Now once you have defined the problem statement, now you have to avoid assumptions, because now for you the picture is very clear. Now for you, your customer has told you that, boss, I need these 100 things. Out of those 100, can you solve 10 things, these 10 things for me? So now you cannot work on assumptions. So you have to avoid assumptions. You have challenge, you have to validate, you have to do everything with respect to data. Your all decisions should be data driven. If you're not taking, or if you're not picking or you're dropping any feature, there should be a data which supports the decision. And the data is derived from the customer's feedback, surveys, etc. And this is how product managers work. Anything which is not data oriented won't work for us. So as a product manager, you cannot assume that, boss, my customer might have those problems or might have this problem and I'll solve for this. This doesn't work as a product manager. So we have to rely on data, and we have to avoid products that solve wrong problems. So if my customer wants a road and I give them a highway, that also doesn't work sometime, because constructing a road will take less time, constructing a highway will take a lot of time. So for me, for my customer, the timing of execution also matters. How quick you are solving the problem, it also matters. What problem you are solving also matters. So every decision should be data driven. Till now, if we have any question, you can please drop in chat, and please Kushal, please let me know if I am rushing the session.
All
we can
good so
we
far.
can take 1 or 2 minutes for queries, and then we can move ahead. Till now, if you have any question, anything, we can discuss.
There are a few questions dropped via folks who have dialed in via LinkedIn.
Yeah.
We have a question from Sarah. Sometimes the solution lies behind the words that customers say. Not all customers know what they need and are able to articulate it. It was just a statement. Okay. Thanks for that, Sarah. So Sunil mentioned sometimes due to irrational behavior of users, the user feedback might differ from actual behavior. We see users not using the product as we might expect to. How do we ensure that we create the nudge?
Okay.
It's a great question, actually.
Okay, that's a great question. So that's why we have chosen this topic, because what happens is, see, with every product there will be some certain set of customers who will not use the product, right? We have to focus on the product. First, we have to focus on the customers who are very, very relevant to your product. A customer who is very, very relevant will always use at least once, right? This should be an assumption, optimism, I'll say, that if you are actually tapping a relevant customer, the relevancy is very important. So if I have to actually create, let's say, a chatbot for a, what to say, let's say I have to create a chatbot for a company, but I am discussing the same idea with a, let's say, with a food tech company, let's say, right? But an edtech company requires the same kind of requirement. Those are not relevant. The relevancy is not there, right? If I wanted to create a lending based solution for MSMEs, but I am pitching that same solution to a normal B2B retail customer, I think my offerings won't fit into the set of customer. So first of all, we have to understand and pick the relevant audience. Once the relevant audience is picked up, you have to define set of customers also. So I'll tell you what happens is, many times we simply pick number of like 10, 20 customers from a pool of customers, and we ask and we expect that all of the customers will give you feedback. No, every customer can't give you feedback. So first we have to refine and redefine the group of customers. So suppose I have 100 customers in the pool, I will divide the customers into pools and groups. And then I have different kind of customer types. So suppose there are few customers who are very active on the platform, there are few customers who are not so active, and there are third kind of a customer who are not at all active, they have just registered on our platform. For all three kind of customers, we have three different kind of feedback sessions. First kind of for the first set of customers, we'll discuss that was what next, what you require next, right? What you expect next, what's the next problem statement. The second set of customer will discuss how to improve. What are the things which are limiting you to use the platform? Since you are an active customer, you're not using it a lot, we can do an improvement. If you have any feedback, we can work accordingly. The third set of customer, we have to actually engage them into the aspect of ask that boss, what you require. Why? So we are building these particular product or these particular features for you. What are your expectation? If you don't like the product or maybe the feature, what is your expectation? Again, for those set of customers, you have to redefine the problem statement, and then you have to prioritize. So suppose third type of customer says, so suppose this third type of customer says that boss, I am looking for a car loan, but you are not serving a car loan, right? So, and this car loan segment might fall like 6 months down the line in the product. Then you have an MVP planned, right? Then you can plan, then you can actually prioritize those things accordingly. So you have to create relevant customer groups, catch the customers accordingly as per the relevant questions, and then you get the feedback. This is it. Any other question you have?
We do have a few more. How do we align the problem statement with the business objective?
Okay. So we have covered in this slide also. There has to be a balance. So as a product manager, you have to create a balance with business and customer both. You cannot every time simply deliver something which is 100% customer friendly. Obviously, you have to create some product which is 100% customer friendly.
Okay.
But you have to hello.
Apply చేసిన వాళ్ళకి కదా.
Can you please? Yeah. Thank you so much. So you have to create a balance, taking requirements from customer, prioritizing everything. But at the end of the day, the objective of the product is it should drive business, right? So it should be a win-win situation for the product as well as for business. So I'll give you a very quick example. Again, same kind of example. Suppose we are working, suppose we have a product of a lending application, right? As a business, I will always expect my customers to take loans every day. My numbers should boost, right? This is my business expectation, right? My numbers should go exponentially high every day, every month on month. I should get, let's say, 20% bump up in the loan disbursed, right? This is my business expectation. At the end of customer, there are different kind of expectation. Boss, your interest rate is very high, I cannot take loan. I wanted to take loan, but you are not giving me those kind of loan products, right? I wanted to pay in EMI. Do you pay? I wanted to pay in end of the day EMIs. You don't have that feature, so there has to be a balance, right? So that balance is very important. So if you have created that balance in the terms of requirement, which serves the right business expectation, the product will always thrive. And yes, every time, every like 100%, the balance creation is very tough, frankly speaking. Since we sit on the customer side, it's very important to understand the customer first, but keeping the balance with business. So that balance is very important. Yeah. So any other question, or we can move ahead?
There's one more from Philip. What could be the top 3 or 4 challenges a startup might face that we should be conscious of, specifically from product point of view? It's quite broad. But I think a lot of points were covered by you. Maybe anything to top it off, Anshul.
Sure. So speaking from a startup point of view, 2-3 things are very important. First of all, you have to be confident enough on the product, and you have to be flexible enough. So see, in the beginning of the startup, when you start a product, when you start development, and once you start going to market, right? Market is not in favor of everyone from day one. So you have to create your space. Your space creation will reflect from the product only. So 2-3 things to follow. First is always and always respect your customer. Always try to understand your customer. Your nastiest customer might give you a wonderful feedback. We have to be very much flexible to understand our customer. You have to actually dive inside the brain of your customer. If your customer is telling that your product is not working at all, your product is a total failure, take it seriously, understand from his or her angle that what is wrong which is happening. Second aspect is, before before taking customer feedback, don't just put funds, don't just start burning out, because a right product with the right timing and with the right solution will only thrive into the market, right? So funds, so just burning the funds will also won't work, because that will give you a temporary happiness of, let's say, 2 months, 3 months, unless the funds are actually completely burnt. So you have to spend very wisely. At the same time, gain confidence of customers, right? Show them that you are actually building something specifically for them, specifically. Fourth important thing is, don't rush behind all the problems. See, inside one problem also there are so many problems. So for example, a problem statement could be, I wanted to create uh, a chat platform, let's say. A very simple one-liner problem statement. I wanted to create a chat platform. Now there will be multiple challenges and multiple problem statement inside. Okay, will this chat platform will be a real-time chat platform, or it won't be a real-time chat platform, but it will serve the purpose of chatting? This is one problem statement. Second problem statement, what kind of messages will this chat platform will be exchanging? Will it be text, or will it be media files, videos, etc.? Also, if media files and images and photos and videos will be exchanged, what will be the format? So you have so many technical problems aligned. You have to define the immediate priorities. So defining these 4-5 things will work. Fifth, last thing which I always advise based on my experience is, do not rush. You should have patience. Many times what happens is, you have a very good product, you are actually serving it in a very right way, but right now the market timing is not good, and you feel frustrated that, boss, my things are not working, maybe I'm not right. So patience is the key for any startup, for any product manager. Patience is the key. You have to wait, you have to hold your breath to let the customer revert, let the product go in the hands of your customer, and then you get and once you get the feedback, then you decide, get the right data inside, and then you take the decision. So I think these 4-5 things are very important. The patience thing is very important because nowadays people are actually losing patience. If you see, a lot of startups are building different products, and everyone want one night success. So if I have built a zero, I have built a duplicate of Zerodha. I want everyone tomorrow morning, everyone start working and using my application and will give 5-star reviews on Play Store. That doesn't work, right? So every product requires a lot of what do you say, right timing, patience, and correct problem should be solved. These are the 4-5 key points. What I believe should be. Okay, can we move ahead?
Yes, Kanshu.
Okay, thank you. So in this slide, we covered avoiding assumptions. Now lean experimentation. So now, since you have decided those 10-20 things which you are now going to solve first, now is the time to lean experimentation. Lean experimentation give you a playground kind of a thing where you create an MVP and run experiment to validate your assumptions. Now for those for those first 10 pain points, we will develop something. It could be design, or it could be design in the first phase. It could be an A/B testing, journey comparison. It could be anything, but it will give you a playground. Now you first develop your MVP. So you again take this MVP to your customer. You show this MVP to your customer. Take their feedback, and again, if it is possible, and if time allows, you redefine your problem statement. Because whenever you are speaking about a problem statement, and whenever you have developed anything, huge difference, massive difference. Once you take your MVP to your customer, then your customer will tell, boss, ये 5 चीजें सही नहीं है. These 4 things are not in a correct order. We don't require these 5 things. Can you change these 5 things into this, or can you change all those 10 things into one? Again, you have to reprioritize. So at the MVP stage also, sometimes you have to be flexible enough to take iterations from customer, because feedback will play a key role at every stage until your product is delivered. You have prioritized a feature, you are developing a feature. Before you deliver it to your customer, do a close group discussion with your customers. Show them your product. Take validation. Take a general validation, which gives you also a confidence that okay boss, I'm going in the right direction. This path is correct. My product might take some time, but the path is correct. The customer is liking the solution. So that lean experimentation stage comes at this stage. Continuous. So as I have mentioned, continuous feedback loop is very important. So as soon as you have created the MVP, go to the customer. Real user feedback is very important. Generally, what happens is where we product managers sometimes we do mistake. We always take our internal team as a customer. We take their feedback. No, we have to take feedback from an unknown customer who can actually give you a unbiased solution, unbiased feedback. That particular customer will tell you that what is actually wrong in your product, what you are over exaggerating as a feature. You should deliver those 3 things first. The customer will tell you that you should deliver these 3 things first. These are very relevant to me. Those 2 things, you can actually keep it inside a different separate menu, right? Those 2 things won't work in first day, maybe at the first day, but those 3 things, can you highlight it? Can you show it this way? So that continuous feedback is very important. Feedback at the stage of development, once you have created MVP, once you have delivered MVP, and once you are trying to reiterate your MVP or the second phase of MVP, at every stage feedback is very important. Continuous feedback loop is very important. It refines your solution. It actually filter out the the odd features or the odd requirements which you have somehow catered, um, maybe due to the plan of the roadmap. But yes, it gives you a clarity. At every stage with feedback, your product is actually getting refined. And at the end of the day, the customer will accept that particular product, because if you have taken the feedback, if you have refined the requirements, if you have refined the product in the way a customer is expecting, the product will be a hit. 100% the product will be a hit. Next, moving ahead. So prototyping and user testings. Now my MVP is there. I have taken customer feedback, and now prototyping is important. So building prototyping and prototypes and involving users in testing will help refine. So as I have mentioned, at every step you have to involve your user. So for a few of us, it is very hard to engage with customers every time. So again, with the old philosophy of product management, go and create groups of your customer. If you are working a startup, if you have limited customers, or you are working in a corporate where you have a huge customer base and you are developing a product for them, go and create small groups of customers. It could be a group, it could be a pizza group of customer also, who can actually consume one small pizza also, right? 4 people, 3 people, not a problem. Engage with them, go on a call with them, discuss the problem, discuss the solution, discuss what they are expecting, what you have served, the comparison also. And then you will get ultimate feedbacks, which will actually create impact. So I'll tell you from my experience. So we delivered one feature. I won't discuss about the feature right now, but it will take a lot of time. We delivered one feature, and we saw there were a lot of Play Store reviews. That was this feature. You have delivered X, but if you have delivered X plus 2, it would be a wonderful journey. So to take decision that whether we have to deliver it immediately or not, we again created customer groups. We have gone on a discussion with customers. We created a question list. Again, those question list is different for different set of customers. So for example, I have created, so just to give you an insight of what are customer groups. So suppose in first customer group, we have kept customers who are Gen Z, who are tech savvy. In the second customer group, we have kept people who are not so tech savvy, but lie between the age group of 40 to 60. And we have taken perspective of both the customers. So these are two particular, and then there are further filters also, which this group is from which city, which locality, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, what type of languages these people speak, right? What type of languages our product is actually offering. So create customer groups as per your product proposition. See the commonality, which particular customer persona you could work on, which cover most of them, which cover most of the customer groups. So prototyping and user testing is very crucial and important at every stage. We have to keep it in mind. So now this is a classic example what to discuss to your customer, because a lot of you might be thinking that, okay, Pranchu is telling you have to discuss your customer, you have to ask with your customer, but what should we ask? How to find a right problem solution fit? So you have to ask to the customer, is X a problem for you? So I have kept few examples here as a general statement. You can understand. So is X a problem for you? This will actually understand the nature of problem from the customer. How do you get along today? So this will learn how urgent the problem is. Similarly, to learn about existing solutions in the market. How have you tried to solve this problem in past? How much time and money did you spend to solve X, to determine the market size and customer intent? What could be a suitable solution to solve X, to brainstorm potential solution to the problem? You ask to the customer will tell you everything. Customer is a what do you say? Customer is that mirror which gives you true vibes, So if all these responses of questions are positive and are clear, the problem is real, the significant, you will actually find the problem, proper problem solution. So this is how, these are few of the questions. So before this slide, you have any questions, we can take questions, because now we'll dive into the case studies section, which will give us more clarity.
Yeah, Pranshu, we have one question from Sarah. What practical tools do you suggest for getting feedback at MVP level or at launch?
Okay. So there are a couple of tools. Frankly speaking, don't actually dive into so many tools at the MVP stage. If your customer is very much accessible to you, go and discuss directly to your customer, because once you speak with your customer, see, whenever we are throwing a particular survey or questions from via Google Forms or maybe any CMS kind of a CRM kind of a thing, right, which is an automated questionnaire, this gives you a very limited insights, because you are sitting at the very what do you say, at the very beginning step of your product, maybe at before an MVP also, right? So try to discuss with your customer first, at least one round of discussion in the beginning, so that you can understand the psychology of your customer, you understand the behavior of your customer, you understand the reactions of your customer, right? Many times what happens is, using a normal survey form, which is a Google Docs form also, you get answers in a very binary way. Customer want it, customer don't want it. But once you try to discuss the same question with your customer tells you that yes, solution A is good, but in solution A, agar ye bhi mil jata, if I get this also, right, it could be a better thing for me. So now this gives me two things. This particular conversation give me two responses. One is the customer likes solution A. Second, what is the roadmap for me if I take this particular feedback as priority? Now I understand my customer's next expectation also. So in terms of tools, you can simply use Google Docs, Google Forms as a basic preliminary forms for surveys. Uh, I will request go on customer calls. It will give you a lot of insight, a lot of insight. Uh, you will be a fan of mine if you go in customer discussions, because at the end of the day, if you'll speak with 10 customers every day, or like 5 customers also every day, and at the end of the day customer tells you that, boss, your product, I like this product, or I like this feature, and suppose you have built this product, that that particular conversation will make your day, will feel you motivated also, and then will give you a better vision about your product also. And most importantly, you will be able to understand your customer, which is very important for the entire roadmap of your product. Because a lot of people in the industry, what they do is, in the absence of time, see, a lot of product manager or a lot of people are there who don't have much time to deliver or to think, right? They don't have much time to think or much time to research. They take one problem statement, they discuss with few of the folks, and they start delivering. And the intent is, their intent is also not wrong. Their intent is, boss, let us deliver something very small to the market, and then we'll get some time, and then we'll think, and we'll invest more time in research. So that is also not wrong. But if you have time, use tools like simple tools like Google Form. Create a nice list of questions which is very relevant to your customer. Don't ask your customers to write stories for you. Don't expect also. Give them option to tap, right? I have 10 questions, I just have to tap. This gives me all the insights. So you have to be very clear. You have to work really hard to create those questionnaires which might give you a correct insightful answer. So again, getting answers is not important, getting insightful answers is important, so that you can take decision, right? You cannot take open-ended answers, right? So suppose an open-ended answer is, let's say, I need a loan app. Example, this is a open-ended question, open-ended answer. But I need a car insurance app, or I need a personal loan app, is a little defined problem statement. So again, you have to be very specific in your questions and answers, both options too. You and try to be objective, as much objective as you can. So this is the first key solution. Go with go with customer conversation at the first level. Then you move to the surveys. You can use Google Forms or any form which is easy to access, easily accessible on the customer's device. See, these are very small things, but are these things play a crucial, sorry, These are small things, but these things play a crucial role. So suppose you have built a Google form. So let's say you have a you have a CRM. You have built a really good form, but that form is not supported on the customer's device. Customer won't be able to give you any feedback. So the relevancy, flexibility, scalability, and the adaptability, everything matters. Your form, so if you won't be getting responses, you will think that, boss, customers are not interested. But at the other side of the table, customer is not able to open the form. This is also a very basic challenge, and everyone faces this problem. No one talks about it because it's a very small thing, but you actually have to work on these particular things also, so that the particular question set is swiftly delivered and smoothly answered, and you then you take the call. Also, you have to actually create small matrices of the answers, so that you can take decisions. How many customers favored feature A, or how many customers liked feature B, right? What is the command? Whatever the questions you have, your matrices or the KPI should be insight driven, should be data driven. You'll be able to take decisions. And I think don't dive into much complex tools at the very basic and first stage. Try to get in touch with your customer as much as you can. I think that will like pull off the bars. Any other question you have?
Yeah, we have one more question on B2B product. So, who is the main persona for B2B product? Is it the buyer or admin or user?
So actually, when it comes to a B2B product, both are equally important. The user and the, so when you say user, so let's take an example of Amazon. Let's say, right? Amazon's a B2B segment, right? Or you can take an example of Alibaba, right? Customer and seller both are very important. If the seller's world is not organized, your customer will never able to place order. If the customer's world is not organized, once we say the customer's world is not organized, means the e-commerce segment where you display product, the correct information of the product, correct images of the product, those things are not in place. uh, Customer won't be able to explore. So both are important, and both are customers. And for us, both ecosystems are product. Customers life cycle, customer who is actually purchasing the product have a particular product flow, the features for the customer. You can see the product, you can explore the product, you can search the product, you can see the seller, you can see the seller's marketplace, you can search product inside seller's marketplace. Everything has to be organized. Then you can do payments also. Payment, you have multiple options. You wanted to have one page checkout, or you wanted to have multiple page checkout, right? What is your drop rate, what is your conversion rate, right? At the same time, what type of payment options you are giving to your customers also is very important, right? So end-to-end serving, end-to-end delivery of the feature, right from exploration to a product, to the product page, to the cart management, to payment, and till the time, till the instance of product delivery. Everything is very important. This is from the customer's angle. From the seller's point of view, the seller should have a proper dashboard, because at the seller end, the things are much more complex. Because as a seller, I have, let's say 200 products, and each product will have, let's say, 10 inventories, every product, right? And as a seller, I want my product should come on top of the list, top of any category or top of any search. I should be able to add my product in a very clean, smooth way. There should be a feature of a bulk upload option, which every e-commerce gives, right? There should be a feature of creating minor details also, which actually create a good impression at the front end of at the customer angle, right? Whether it is SEO meta tag, whether it is meta description, whether it is images guidelines, right? Because as a seller, I can upload simply any product, not product, any photo of any product, right? There has to be a guideline, right, which normalize and optimize the complete website's image guidelines, right? At the same time, then there has to be a guidelines on taxes also, on HSN also, which regulates everything. So my tax calculation is also should automatically happen. I should not enter product tax manually one by one. Accession code wise, taxation should all should be auto calculating. My invoice generation should happen automatically. My POD creation should have POD is proof of delivery. My POD should be created automatically, and so on. So for me, these two are my primary customers. I will be creating the world first for these two customers, and we cannot create world for single customer since it's a B2B platform. Both worlds are important and both have its own importance in the terms of delivery, MVP planning. So again, for both ecosystems we'll plan MVPs, for both ecosystem will prioritize, and for both ecosystem will deliver something, and both will go hand in hand. At the end, these are my primary users. Then my secondary user is my admin, who is actually managing both of them, both of them in the terms. We are managing sellers also from the same panel, and we are managing customers also, customers, orders, payments, refunds, reversals, refunds, everything, right? Maybe courier management also is managed via admin side. So there has to be a primary and secondary customer. So user and seller is on the primary side, where you define the MVPs and all, you deliver, you start execution, and the secondary customer is admin. I hope if there is any confusion, please, I can repeat.
No, Pranshu.
Okay. Can we move ahead?
Yes.
Okay. So we have discussed a lot, right? What set of questions to be asked, what to do, how to do, right? What is the pain of customer? But at the end of the day, there has to be a framework which step by step tell me that, boss, if I'll answer these 5-10 questions, I will get the conclusion, I will get the right problem solution, right? I will get right problem solution fit, right? So in left, so if you see the screen, in the left we have all about problems, and in the right we have all about solutions. We'll discuss a case study also on this, but first let me explain you what is there in the visual way, right? In the left, we'll ask the customer, what will ask us, what is the problem you are trying to solve? So these are the questions for product managers. What is the problem you are trying to solve? Who has this problem? So once you say who has this problem, you have to define your customer here. How painful is this problem? So you have to define the severeness of the problem. Severeness in the sense ki boss, let's say there is an SME customer in the second column. How painful is the problem? Customer wants loan in everyday basis, but we are not able to do. Due to this, the customer is getting a business loss of, let's say, 50,000 rupees every day. This is the severity of the problem. Then what evidence do you have that someone is willing to pay you to solve the problem? So this is also very important. Solving a problem is one, but a customer who is ready to pay you to solve his or her problem is very important, because at the end of the day, product and business should be on a balanced side, right? Business actually is derived from the willingness to pay at the same time, right? There has to be a business out of product is the business intent at the end of the day. Then in the right hand side, you mention all about the solutions. So this particular table you have to define once you have discussed with your customer, you have done the empathy mapping, you have understood your customer's pain point. Now you are ready to create something for the customer. Okay, you have on the solution side, you have to mention that what would you propose as a solution. Now you have discussed the problem statement with your customer, you have defined and redefined the problem statement, and now you have to redefine it. What is the purpose? What is the solution you are proposing? What are the major customer benefits for this solution? Because at the end of the day, if the solution is not benefiting to the customer might not use it very frequently. So that is also very important. What evidence do you have that the solution is better than the way the customer solved the problem today? So today a customer is doing a jugaad, let's say, and solving his or her problem. Is your solution better enough? Is your solution worth enough for the customer so that customer use your solution, and how many customers are already lining up for your solution. That is also very important. So let's say I can say, for an example, there are 100 customers who are using this solution. This is so much relevant to to this 100 customer, and I evaluate that, boss, if the next relevant 1,000 customer will also will reuse my use my product in a very efficient way, and that's a lining up. This gives you a very clear idea about everything. Now quickly jump to a case study which will give you a very clear insight. So this example is of a company, FM. So FM is a financial technology which provides a point of sales. So in layman terms, as a customer, if I transact, let's say 2,000 rupees from a POS machine, swapping my card, this particular POS machine give me a flexibility to convert that 2,000 rupees into EMI instantly, or maybe a end of the day EMIs. Okay, so this is a simple feature this company serves. So now this is the problem. I hope the problem statement, sorry, the solution which the company is offering is very much clear, that this particular thing, this particular application or this particular solution allows us to split the purchase amount into monthly payments or EMIs. Okay, I'll just pause it for a minute. There's a noise. Just 1 minute.
Hey everyone. To answer your question, yes, the recording will be going on YouTube. It'll be placed on our LinkedIn channel as well.
Yeah. Sorry. Is my screen visible to you? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So if I have to build such kind of a solution, like these would be the right answers to the question, right? What is the problem you are trying to solve? The problem which we are trying to solve is everyday loans are not accessible to everyone, right? As a customer, I need every day I need loans. Whatever transaction I am doing from my card, from my phone, from UPI, I wanted to convert all my transaction or any of the transaction into easy EMIs immediately. This is the basic problem statement which we have done. Who has the problem? Immigrants or youngsters, right? Or general traders. Everyone has this problem. Everyone faced this problem because everyone wanted credit. Everyone wanted money, right? How much painful it is? It is very painful, because if the customer is not having money, they cannot afford costly or anything, right? If I have EMI feature from day one, I can afford more things, right? So at the end of the day, my affordability also increases, and with the same amount of money converting into EMIs, there is much more opportunity size for the product also and for customer also. It's a win-win thing. Then what is the evidence that you are willing to pay? Since payment ecosystem is changing globally, we have UPI, we have UPI Lite, we have credit over UPI. So there are a lot of things which are coming into the Indian industry. So the scope of payment and adaptability of different types of payments is increasing. So we know that if these kind of things will come, people will definitely use it and will welcome these kind of features, because everyone wanted credit, everyone wanted EMI. If not everyone, most of the customer would love it. So what would be the proposed solution? Keeping all these problem statements in mind, we came up to a thought that, okay, we'll create a buy now pay later solution, a lending business, right? With long-term payback periods. Because if you are spending 2,000 rupees or maybe 50,000 rupees or maybe 30,000 rupees, I will give you a long payback period. there would be interest in other things, but for a customer, there will be a long payback period, which is a good feature for customer. And at the same time, second solution would be point of sale lending. So as soon as my card is swapped, immediately I get a message, or immediately at the same time I convert the transaction into EMI, which is a very quick execution and quick delivery to the customer at the same time. What are the major customer benefits? The first benefit for the customer is now the customer has the accessibility to credit. It's not actually it's not a credit, but now customer can actually enable purchase for costly products, right? Every product at almost every retailer now. If for example, if you think that if all the retailers have installed this same POS machine, now the opportunity size for the customer is so big, right? The customer will immediately do a transaction, will convert the transaction into EMIs, right? So number of transaction would also be increased. The customer's life is also smooth. What evidence do you have that solution is better in the way, right? So since other solutions are not solving costly prices, right? There are so a very basic problem statement here is people are not able to afford costly things, right? These particular transactions converting into EMIs will make things affordable for the customers, right? Mostly short-term payback loans, which have low risk, or maybe a long-term loan with a higher rate of interest with a high risk, but the customer requires that. So other solutions are not solving that. So this particular solution fits that gap. Then how many customers are already lining up? So as we have already discussed that if this particular POS machine is installed in every retailer shop, so most of the retailers are interested. So design patterns works accordingly, right? If POS machines are installed and customers are coming and customers are actually availing this particular benefits, then we can simply count number of customers, an estimated number of customers. For the instance, for example, we have kept 10,000 of beta registrants here. So 10,000. So as per this solution, there are 10,000 customers which we have already identified, or maybe we have estimated that who will be the immediate user of this particular solution. So I hope the visual part, the problem and the solution part, the right question set is a bit clear to everyone. I think if you have any question, we can quickly take. I have 2 or 3 more slides. That's it. Do we have any question, or we can move ahead?
Oh, no, Prantu, we don't have any questions.
Perfect. No questions means we are going on the right track or not. Okay.
Right.
So I'll not take much time on this particular slide, because we have dived inside the actual problem statements and solutions. We have some classic problem solution fits example of some big giants who actually worked on problem statement first, and then they derived the solution. Like Airbnb found a problem that finding affordable, comfortable accommodation is very difficult. That's the problem statement, right? Affordable and comfortable accommodation is very important, and they developed a solution with an online platform which hosts short-term rentals, which was first of its own kind of a solution. Same wise, Dropbox identified a problem by individuals and business who need to access and share files across different devices. This was the problem statement. Tesla also worked like this, right? Same for Uber, the lack of reliable and affordable transportation option. Small problem statement, right? Don't make a lot of chaos. I want to book a cab should be like this, that, right? I want features inside cab. No, simple problem statement is the lack of reliable and affordable transportation option. That's it. Spotify also have a very small problem statement, the difficulty of finding and listening to new music. The problem statement is not music, it's new music. So the difficulty of finding and listening. So again, we have to keep our problem statements short, sharp, and defined. So that is the key. Again, so as we have discussed, we have to create our own matrices for the validation of the successful MVP. The KPI should be very much clear to us. How many users are actually engaging? What is the rate of customer satisfaction? What is your definition of customer satisfaction, right? For few people, the customer satisfaction should be the conversions, let's say, right? At few stages of the product, customer satisfaction is that the customer has passed this stage. If 90% of the customer has passed this stage, means my product validates, means this is the level of satisfaction my customers have, right? In few products, you will see the customer will drop at a particular stage in the journey, right? You always, with the help of data, you always try to find that why my customers are actually dropping, right? Then you fix that particular problem. And once with the next MVP, once this customer start crossing that particular stage where actually the most drop rate was there, right? Then for you might be, this is also a micro level of customer satisfaction. So you actually have to be very much flexible in the KPIs or maybe in the matrices, which will help you to create a successful problem solution fit, which is actually a key. If you are not iterating with multiple validations with respect to data, then we are actually missing out something. So that is very important. Next, so there's much to do. As we have discussed, balancing business goals and users need, which is very important. If you'll only work at one side of the picture, you'll definitely miss a bus. So we have to create solutions which are aligned with business goals. You have to take care of the customer aligning with your business goal. So at the end of the day, customer should be happier and the business goals should meet, and the product should be user centric. 100% product should be user centric. You actually cannot compromise from users expectations or the solutions which the customer is actually expecting. And with balance, you have to iterate for perfection. Since you have created a product as an MVP1, you have to go again to the market, see what the signal market is giving to you, see the signal what customer is actually giving to you. You have to iterate perfectly. Again, iteration doesn't mean you have to simply create MVP2. Again, this goes to the feedback level. You take feedback, again you define the problem statement, maybe you redefine the problem statement, maybe you subtract few of the features which you have already delivered, right? You make the product more sharper, more user friendly, more relevant, and hence you iterate for perfection. Again, no product is perfect. Perfection is just a word. You have to try to be as relevant as possible for the customer, because relevancy is very important. जितना भी relevant हम होंगे, product उतना ही बेहतर होगा. Customer will love it. Customer will try to love it, right? And yes, that's the, I think that we are at the end of the slide. Yes, remember that product solution fit is the North Star of product development. Everything lies around customer. Understand the customer, iterate, validate, understand the customer, iterate, validate. Everything revolves around it. Take feedbacks, create MVPs, prioritize, do user testing, make user groups, which is very important. Always be flexible, because with flexibility, you can actually create nice product with nice features, and always welcome your customers' feedback. Yes, we are set the stage for the product. I think this is it. So yeah, you can connect me on LinkedIn. Happy to connect with you, with all the aspirant and the fellow product people. Love to connect with you. You can share your queries anytime on anywhere. I'll be happy to answer. Yeah, now if you have any question, we can actually take more questions.
We have one question on the chat. I would suggest you to read that question because I cannot understand the question properly.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, I think there are two questions there. I'll start with the latest one. In conflict of business goals and user needs, which one would you prefer? Or like, how are things prioritized?
Okay, so I would first prioritize my customer's need, because I have to understand in which direction my customer is going. See, business requirements or business goals are 90% fixed. Fixed in the sense, business expectation is you create a product which actually pulls 80% of the revenue, or maybe 30% of the revenue growth in this month, or maybe in coming months, right? This is the business expectation at the end of the day. But what my customer actually wanted, right? We have to think from that angle that, okay, to achieve this business goal, what my customer is looking forward, can we fulfill that or not, right? For example, my customer, I am actually serving, so let's say I'm a application, I'm a product which gives personal loan, and right now I am serving personal loans at a very high rate of interest, right? My business pushes me that, boss, you have to create a pull to the business. In next 3 months we need 30% growth in business, and we have more number of customers who are eligible, and we are ready to give you a cohort of those customers. But at the end of the day, when those 10,000 customers are addressed with the same product and they are not availing the loan, what is the problem statement they are actually stuck with? We have to understand. The customer ask is, boss, I am ready to take loan, but your rate of interest is very high. Can you give me a relaxation on EMIs, or can you lower down the rate of interest? Is the customer's understanding or customer's question. So we have to understand the customer's needs first, and then we have to speak with our business. And definitely every time there has to be a mutual solution. You cannot only speak about business to the customer, you cannot speak and vice versa also, right? So there has to be a mutual way. In my case, I would have first understood my customer so that I can discuss this particular use case with my business, and then we can create a relevant solution. What's the next question? Can't see much. I think most of the things I've answered.
Yeah. We have a question from Diljyoti. What will be the metrics for B2B products like ERP solutions at an organization level?
At an organization, okay. So B2B solutions like SAP, ERP solutions, so at an organizational level, I'm assuming the scenario where we are as Zoho building CRMs and tools for the end customers and clients, right? My first, please correct me if the question I've understood is correct, the problem statement I've understood is correct or not. In this scenario, my basic matrices would be how many customers, how many licenses I am actually currently serving for, number one. What is the retention rate of my customer? Because that's very important, because all these ERPs and Zoho and everything is a SaaS based, mostly are the SaaS based platforms, right? Mostly works on a SaaS based subscription kind of a model, right? Where they, or maybe on a licensing model, right? So my retention rate of retention is very important. Month on month increase in the clients, right? What is the month on month growth is also important, right? Month on month new feature acceptance is also important. New feature acceptance means every month 30% of my customer adopt new features. Features could be any. Then there has to be a subdivision of features also. These are 100 features of us. Most liked feature is this. There has to be a ranking, right? Then you have, then you should have a insight engine for those features also, right? How many customers are using this? What is the retention rate of this particular feature at the same time, and so on. So in this way, there has to be a incremental what do you say, matrices. Yes. And then there are and then as per the team, there the matrices differs actually as per so if you're a product person, your matrices will be different. If you're a sales person, or you are maybe on a management side, your matrices would be different, right? Salesperson, your matrices would be different, right? So in this way, the matrices should be. You need to give customer any incentive or freebie so that they can give us time during customer research phase. So frankly speaking, it depends. It depends on type of customer, actually, frankly speaking. So incentivizing customer, always freebies doesn't work, frankly speaking. Always freebies doesn't work. So incentivization uh, could be anything, right? Incentivizations could be, boss, if you discuss with, if my application have a reward system, let's say, if you give us some of your time every hour, I'll give you, let's say, 100 points in your wallet. This is one kind of incentivization to a customer, right? So freebies never work every time, because at the end of the day, uh, you're working for a purpose. That purpose might take 1 hour also, might take 20 hours also, or might take 20 hours every day also. So distributing freebies won't work every day. So incentivization in the term of services, or maybe in terms of features, would help you. There can be a situation where conflict. Yeah, it's very common. Users always create conflict, but again, prioritizations comes into picture. See, you have to create, so you have to prioritize. So let's say there are two customers, Pranshu and Kushal. Let's say Pranshu says I need feature A, Kushal says I need feature B, right? At the end of the day, these are two customers. You would be having group of customers, right? You have to take decisions based on data. If you have data, take decisions wisely, only using data, right? So yes, customers will conflict, answers might conflict, might get conflict, but take decisions using data only. Even your requirements are also sometimes conflicting, right? You are discussing something. So suppose you are discussing with a customer that was are you a SME customer? We are looking forward to make a easy government loan portal for you, let's say, right? And customer says that, boss, I don't want government loans, I already have loans. This is a pure conflict of requirement, right? Customer says that I don't want this, right? So this session won't move ahead in this way, right? Rather, you ask the customer that, boss, okay, we are planning something like this. If you have any other requirement, or maybe is there any expectation, you can let us know, and we can see where this could fit in our product, right? So data driven decisions are always wise decisions. Please do not stick with assumptions. Conflict will be there. You will Prioritization will help you to get rid of uh, those conflicts with proper data. Data is very important. Yeah. I hope I have answered it. If you have any further question or anything, please drop us on chat.
All right. I think
Yeah.
we can probably take a question, a final question, guys. In case you have anything, you can just drop it in the chat. You can include yourself.
You share some advice, practice actionable for someone who is early in product career to bring new product ideas, build business. Okay. Uh, First advice is, please hear PM School's podcast. First advice, go and check out PM School's YouTube videos. Those are very insightful. See, because first of all, uh, a product manager or a product person should always think from customers angle. Always and always stick with customers perspective and thought process. Never think you're a product person. Always think you're a customer first. Your this thought process will change your life, because once you start thinking that you're a product person, sometimes you take wrong decisions, right? Because your thought process drives you accordingly, right? You think that you're a product person, now to main jo sochunga wo sahi hoga, whatever I'll think, right, that will be correct, right? But never think like that. Always observe product, always observe customer, observe customers feedback. I invest a lot of time on Play Store and App Store, just reading reviews of customers, reading reviews of customer, no matter what are those reviews. And I start from one rating. I never start from rating 5, right? I start from one rating. Whether it is Play Store, App Store, whether it is Amazon also, or whether doing shopping, try to understand customers, try to build perspectives, try to understand what feedback actually mean. Because once you start understanding and driving that emotions of customer, then you will be able to take correct decisions in the terms of product management field. Because product management, this whole segment is not about solutioning, this is all about breaking the problem into pieces, solving it one by one, serving to the customer. And the customer should give you a green tick also. So these are the practical advices. Go invest your time reading customer reviews, whatever the platform is, whatever the relevant product is, understand it, understand the customers, ask more and more questions, right? Ask questions from your team that why customers are writing these particular things, right? Why our feature is not serving this, why we are not building this, why we are not prioritizing this. Because that will give the correct sense of product inside you. And then once you will have questions, then you will come up with solutions also, right? So this is a reverse engineering thing you have to go with. I think these are some basic practical suggestions, frankly speaking. The rest, I personally explore Play Store, App Store a lot. Plus, you can watch PM schools. Again, I'm actually telling you can watch PM School. Also, you can watch my podcast. Also, I do a lot of good stuff.
Thanks for that, Pranju. All right, folks. I think it's time to bring today's session to an end. Once again, thanks everyone for joining in, and thanks for being here with us today on a busy Wednesday evening. Really appreciate it. I'll talk a little bit about the live cohort program at PM School. So essentially, PM School program is an 8-week bootcamp which helps aspirants in the product management space to crack their first product roles in tech companies. And we do that by getting you together along with 50 other folks to hyper-focus and learn on all the basic components or knowledge or skill set required to become a more rounded product professional. And we help you build your case. We help you by doing that by helping you build case studies on do product breakdowns, as well as a lot of content which you can go through in these 8 weeks. And this content will stay for you for life. So you'll always be PM School alumni once you once you enroll with our program. So all right. So with that, we'll end today's session. Thanks a lot, Pranju. A lot of good things have been shared by folks who've joined us today. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have had great takeaways in terms of learnings, in terms of just information, in terms of frameworks to use in their jobs, and also in their journey to become better product professionals. Right. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining everyone, even on LinkedIn Live. Appreciate your time. Thank you, and have a great rest of the evening.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Good night.